Okay. I'm going to try to repeat what I just said to myself for like 15 minutes. And I hope it sounds as good this time. Even better, actually. But I was reflecting on something I commented on, I guess you could say colleague, I'm not quite sure. He's a friend, internet friend of mine, who said something, I can't remember, but I commented on their post, when you show up to the timeline, your dreams meet you there. And to elaborate, which is what I was just doing before I started recording, so I'm going to do that part again. I want to elaborate that it's just so miraculous to me since I've matured spiritually. I understand manifestation on a deeper level. I still do all the beginner basic stuff, don't get me wrong, like envision it, our words, I will obsess over my verbiage to the point that it's annoying and I sound ridiculous because I can't speak. And then I just say, okay, I'm just gonna be more loose with it because it's becoming a roadblock. It's causing me to stumble. Point is, though, when you show up to your timeline, your dreams meet you there. And someone listening is going to relate to my experience of being so frustrated that you couldn't just manifest it already. Like, why? And is there something wrong with you because you're not manifesting it? And like, you already know it's yours. I've heard a lot of psychics tell the collective as a whole, it's so true. The desires of your heart are there because they belong to you. They're not anyone else's. They're yours. So why are you worried? And as a Christian woman, I know God's plans for me are good. So even saying, I realized yesterday, even saying, oh, I don't know what God has planned, or just even being as loose as saying, well, God's up to something, that doesn't do God justice. He's not up to something. He's up to something good. God is up to something good. So your words matter, especially the words you tell yourself. And the story I was thinking about when I commented on my friend's post today that I was saying when you show up to the timeline, your dreams meet you there, is that I was trying to manifest a job making over $50,000 for 5 years, which for me was a big deal because I was working as a stripper. And when I went back into the blue collar world, if you will, I was going to say real world, but stripping is very real. Anyways, I'd average like 14,000 on paper. I mean, so it was very hard to establish like a good standing with the legal. I mean, stripping is also legal. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say, I think. Regardless, it was going to take me a long time, or at least I thought. Well, did you know that I had this job that I had held down for like a year, but I was feeling stagnant. And I was like, I want to work my way up with this company. I want to excel. I want to show myself and the world. Like, I knew I was ambitious. I knew I could see myself at the top. Like, I went online and ordered a briefcase because I said, I'm going to start showing up to work, dressing the part. And I started wearing, like, makeup more and, like, doing my hair. Because, like, it wasn't really a job that you needed to look good for, to be completely honest. But I started doing that. And within a month, because I had already been sending out applications for about 6 months for promotions. Within a month of me buying the briefcase and showing up, like, with a very obvious effort made, like, showing how much I cared. Because for men, it's the same thing. I mean, hygiene, obviously, is number one, but, like, comb your hair. Have a little style. Have some style. Like, bring your best self forward. as soon as I started like just putting that energy out into the world, and I really swear it was the briefcase mostly, I got an email and was asked to interview for this promotion, and then within 2 weeks I got offered the promotion, and it was double my pay, and it was over $50,000 a year salary. So what I had been like holding myself back from for 5 years really happened pretty quick, and it really is as simple sometimes as just putting one foot in front of the other. Had I not first made the decision to finally break up with stripping and get a job at a warehouse, actually, it was when I started, I was working at a warehouse, basically doing security. Had I not committed to that for a solid year, and unfortunately, I still was tempted to fall back on stripping, and even more unfortunately, even after I took that promotion, I ended up quitting and trying to go back to stripping, thinking that I missed my freedom and how I could, just make my own schedule and come and go as I please, and I romanticized all of those things when I forgot. Clearly, I had forgotten all the reasons why those things really don't average out. You can do those things with your own landscaping company or a lot of other things. So anyways, I think I'm starting to get sidetracked, but what I was ranting about before I got out this camera was that if you're not where you think you belong yet, there's a reason for it, and you don't have to feel ashamed. And it's the external pressure that's making you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be. It's actually keeping you from where you're supposed to be. Because like I said, yeah, you have to take one step at a time. But that is how also manifestation works. Like, I had to buy the briefcase to get the job offer. I wasn't probably even going to be in the mindset of receiving the offer because I hadn't bought the briefcase. I hadn't claimed it. And so it's more than just typing "I claim it" on a YouTube comment, even though that's not bad. But you have to take a leap on yourself. You have to invest in yourself and take it to the next level. For example, if you're with a partner that you think is just not as good as you wish they were, you have to take the leap of faith to end that relationship before you can find the partner that you're like, wow, this is what I've always wanted. As soon as you see signs with your partner, unless you're already married at this point, I don't want to give relationship advice, but something I'm dealing with right now is like, I really value commitment. When I say that I'm committed to someone, there's really nothing they're going to do that's going to back me out. Except recently, my abusive partner did get caught cheating on me. So I was actually kind of relieved, because the truth was I was not happy. And so I was like, oh, you cheated and I caught you. I have permission to leave now. And so that whole experience was so humbling for me, because I was like, yo, I really needed that permission, because I didn't want to just leave him for being abusive, because it's already been revealed to me that I can be abusive sometimes. And I don't want someone to leave me just when I'm abusive. So I was so thankful that he did something else that I know I don't do. Even if I cheat on someone, if I cheat on you, you're going to know within 2 seconds of me doing it. So I just knew in that moment, I said, look, you and I are not the same, and we're not equally yoked. And you did something that is very universally accepted as permission. Like, you broke the contract. I'm freed from the contract, and it is what it is. So that being said, though, I deep down already knew he wasn't the partner I wanted. But I was trapping myself in it because of my commitment. That is what it is. I'm not saying I did anything wrong other than committing to someone who didn't deserve my commitment in the first place. Why did I feel like anyone would do? I had a self-esteem issue when I got into the relationship. Had I been willing to hold out and say, I'm not committing to someone until I know that they are going to be worth every ounce of my commitment, I probably wouldn't have ended up in that situation. So like I'm saying, I don't think it's wrong that once I committed to him, I stayed committed to him until I had what I believed was justified reason not to. Abuse is just, verbal abuse and emotional abuse is just so hard to be like, you know, it's not black and white, but it's not always clear. It's hard to hold people accountable. So when you feel like you're being emotionally abused, but when you have photographic evidence of like infidelity, or you know what I'm saying, and that you catch someone in a lie and you can prove that they're straight lying to you, and then it just makes it so much easier to be like, hey, I'm out. I'm free. Like, you did something. I don't know. I'm talking this to death. This wasn't even what this video was supposed to be about. This video was just supposed to be about that if you're not, for example, the reason I wasn't in the happy relationship that I dream of is because I didn't actually believe, and I wasn't ready for that relationship. Because I wasn't ready to make the sacrifice that comes with having a relationship that was that meaningful. Easy come, easy go. I settled for a relationship that fell into my lap that I thought was perfect, and maybe could have been perfect had I manifested it differently. I may have given this person more time to really confront their demons and be the person for me that I needed, and show up for me the way that I needed, and show up for themselves the way that I needed, because instead I was so gung-ho on, you're great, you'll do, that I kind of didn't even give us a fair shot to mature into what the relationship could have been. You know, it's like taking something out of the oven. It's not even fully cooked. You're missing out on the potential of like what could have been a really great crust. You know, a really flaky croissant. But anyways, yeah, if you're not there, you're not supposed to be there. If you're not there yet, your highest self doesn't want you there yet. Because the destination is not more important than the journey. The journey is the most important part, because the journey is the only thing that even gives the destination its worth. If I could teleport, I don't know. I think I need to turn this video off. Love y'all. Bye.